Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. We're eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. Nothing is off limits. There is not one thing that you are doing that we want you to do differently. We do not want to guide your desires or your requests because we so understand the balance of your environment. And we so trust that your sifting and synthesizing of life is causing you to create magnificently just as you knew you would. And we have the privilege of standing in your vortex, in this vibrational realm, feeling the fullness of all that you have become with such appreciation of your expansion, not just your expansion, your reason for our expansion. And we do as we told you we would do. We hold steady to the vibration of who you really are, incessantly, eternally calling you forward toward it. And when you click in, whether you just slip in because you have the good fortune of watching a little girl bouncing around the campground, or whether you slip in because you deliberately felt your way in, you reached for the best feeling thoughts you could find. Inside this vortex is who you eternally are and where you ultimately will return. We just don't think you should have to croak to get in the vortex. And it is our promise to you, as addictive and compelling as your physical reality is, you're going to get hooked on this vortex. You are. You're going to get hooked on that high feeling, that high flying feeling. You're going to get hooked on the feeling of who you really are. You're going to get hooked on that feeling of elation. Esther finds it when she gets behind the wheel and they hook that car up and they get out on the open road and the sun is shining and the roads are beautifully laid out before her and the vista is around and her lover is next to her and everything in her world is perfect. And she just wants to yodel down the canyons of the highways of this world. She just wants to shout to everyone, look at this beautiful life that we've carved out for ourselves. And when she finds that place, she wishes to maintain it incessantly, but she doesn't. In other words, it's a high that comes, isn't it? It's a high that comes. It's a feeling that comes. It's that rapturous feeling of being in love. But then life causes you to focus. Then suddenly she realizes she doesn't know where she's going. And maybe she hasn't programmed the Magellan just right or the Garmin just right. And where's Jerry anyway? He should be up here helping me. And then the vortex just spits her right out. And then she finds another thought and the vortex just takes her back in. In other words, it's such a willing partner, never holding a grudge. Your vortex never says, where were you yesterday? Your vortex never says, we've been here keeping a light on for you while you've been over there complaining about that and that and that and that and that. We're turning this light off. You just stay over there in the dark for a while. Your vortex is always calling you and your source is always there. And when you find the feeling of it, then practice it, milk it. When you're having a good moment, ask yourself, what are the components of this moment? Why do I feel so good? What's so lovely about this? And describe it. Use your words. Use your emotional words. But begin to practice the conversation. Affirm from inside the vortex. In fact, affirm constantly and do it all from inside the vortex. And never ever affirm from outside the vortex. When you affirm from outside the vortex, you practice the outside the vortex vibration. When you affirm from inside the vortex, you practice the inside the vortex vibration. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain specifically in the vortex.